Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are at Bronco Invasion 2026 in Wildwood, New Jersey. Great weather, at least for now. Supposed to have some storms later today, but that's something to worry about later. Today we're just hanging out and checking out the Broncos, and later on hitting the obstacle course. So let's walk through and check out all the different Broncos here today.
Sunrise breaking through my window, chasing shadows from the night. Coffee warming up my heartbeat. Yeah, the day is feeling bright. I was searching for the meaning, trying hard to find my place. But the happiness I wanted was standing right here in my space. So I'm learning how to slow it down, feel the world around me now. If tomorrow isn't promised, then let's start living out loud. Happy life, let it shine, let it light the sky.
Great to see some of the classic Broncos out here today as well.
Happy life, we got love and we're feeling alive. Happy life, happy life, happy life, happy life. Finish out when the road gets wild. We're not perfect, but we're trying, and somehow that's enough tonight. Happy life, happy life. All the moments that I carry, some were heavy, some were gold. But I learned to keep on moving, learn to let the sunlight unfold. Every heartbreak, every lesson, put the fire in my soul. Now I'm dancing in the chaos, yeah, I'm finally in control. Now I'm learning how to breathe again, feel the rhythm in my chest. If the world gets complicated, we still know we're blessed. Happy life, let it shine, let it light the sky. Happy life, we got love and we're feeling alive. Happy life, happy life, happy life, happy life. We're alive when the road gets wild. We're not perfect, but we're trying, and somehow that's enough tonight. Happy life, happy life. Maybe joy is in the small things, a quiet laugh, a midnight call, a broken heart that learned to heal, a moment where we feel it all. If happiness is hard to find, we'll build it one breath at a time. Hold on tight and don't let go. Yeah, now I finally know. Happy life, let it rise like a burning fire. Happy life, let your dream pulling us higher. Happy life, happy life, happy life, happy
Looks like we got a recovery in action.
By a winch, you're supposed to pre-tension your winch line. Everybody ever hear that before?
Yeah.
The reason why is they just feed it in from the factory by hand. They don't put a load on it to tension it. Tension is 600 pounds, but tension is just taut. So we want to put this under tension to spool it in. Now, where people often make mistakes with that is, if you're not spooling it in perfectly straight, it'll spool to one side. Then you got to pull it out, feed it back in. So planning ahead, if we keep this perfectly perpendicular like that, it'll naturally feed itself. So we need to move everybody over to here that's holding the rope. We need to be as perpendicular as possible, and we need to hold about 600 pounds of tension on this. So if we can put 2 or 3 people on holding it as tight as possible. Try not to let it slide in your hands, more hand over hand. And normally what I do is I'll put it under my boot too, but since everybody's wearing sandals or flip-flops, is key in it? Yeah. Right here. Close enough to have it.
Better than Crocs.
Yeah, oh,
Hold on, don't start pulling again. Who wrapped this?
what did you do?
I had it perfectly wrapped.
That's it, you're fired.
I need to go lower than unpainted. Below unpainted.
Customer.
Customer, there you go.
Okay. Are we ready?
Okay.
Oh wait, we got a tangle out there. We don't want to pull anybody over. Good?
Yeah.
So your job is to keep it perpendicular. Okay.
Yeah.
Since we have 3 people out there, let them hold tension. You hold angle.
Like this.
And you don't try to force it left or right. Let it work. It's perpendicular. Let it do it itself. One thing with winching, you're not supposed to bump it. That's bad for the winch. What you need to do is winch for a few seconds, stop for a few seconds. Warren's duty cycle is 1 minute on, 1 minute off if you're pulling max pulling force. So this is a 10,000 pound winch. So when you're pulling 10,000 pounds, 1 minute on, 1 minute off. The less force you have on it, the longer you can winch versus rest. See how because you're keeping it perpendicular, it'll feed it itself. And that works for when you're winching somebody else out too. Put your vehicle to where you're perpendicular, and then you can just winch without having to fix it later. But if you're off slightly on an angle, you'll have to fix it. So now, the only spot here is because that red sheet was so big, it forced it over, but we're okay for now. But go that way a little bit for perpendicular. Right there. See how nice and neat it's spooling it? Because they're straight on. That's a tip that's not in any of the winch manuals. That's just from experience and practice. guys put about 300 pounds of force on it, that's it. So that's all right. At least it's something. Good job, Edgar. Good job. You're winning, Edgar. You're winning. Trained his whole life for this. Yes. All right, now let's put the hook on. A lot will take this over to a shackle mount to stow it that way. And there's a lot of different companies out there that'll say, don't do that, it'll create a flat spot. They'll say, don't pull the winch hook all the way against the front. It'll create a spot where you're always under tension. Look at any advertisement from any winch company. Where do they have the winch hook? Right up against the front. There's a reason for that. If you put it all the way down here on this shackle, and put tension on it, you're creating a flat spot right there. If you create slack in it, and you're driving around like that, you're creating a wear spot. Both of those are potentially damaging for the winch line. All the manufacturers are going to tell you just to do that. There's not much tension on there. There's probably 100 pounds, but it's on there nice and snug. You don't need to send it home, just snug it. But that's the proper way to store it. Okay. On a 10,000 pound capacity pulling winch, that winch will never be able to put more than 10,000 pounds on this rope. So if this is rated for 18 and that's rated for 10, how's that going to break this? It can't unless you shock load it. Shock loading reduces the strength by 50% on anything you use. So as long as you're not shock loading it, you're fine. Any other questions? Okay. We can take as much time as you guys want for any questions, or if you guys want to see anything in action. He is stuck, so we can rig up single line pull, double line pull. We can rig up any scenarios you want. I do this all the time, so these scenarios are nothing to me. I want to see what you want to. What do you want to learn? What do you want to see?
Single line pull, raise your hand.
And you can play around if you want. That thing I have built there, you want to see the differences with it? I'm going to let you be my tester. Pull up on the first one. So that's all 4 shackles weigh the exact same to the ounce. So that's single line pull. The next one pulls down. That's double line pull. Now pull up on the red warm badge. Yep, pull up. Pull up on that one. That's triple line. And then pull up on that one. They'll grab the warn banner. Pull up. That's 4 times. Now, if you grab the 4 and the 1 at the same time, you can feel the difference with it. That one now is a quarter of the weight of that one. So you can see what a single line pull, double line pull, triple line pull, and quadruple line pull do just by there. You can feel them. Everything pulls up except the double line pull you pull down. So you can feel the difference there. But I can rig them up here if you want to see them. I have an anchor buried, and we can rig it up here if you want to see it. Otherwise, we have many other things we can talk about. We can talk about different blocks. We can talk about the Factor 55 recovery gear kit, how to read the ratings on straps, slings, tree savers, anything of the sort, whatever you guys are interested in learning. A block or a rope retention pulley? Okay. I heard standard and I heard rope retention. Which one do you guys want to try? Standard, rope retention. Rope. 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 Okay, we'll do the rope retention pulley. Wow. Okay, so this is how your rope retention pulley comes. It comes with a soft shackle and it comes with the rope retention pulley. Now, contrary to what some of the other companies out there, like this, will tell you, the pulley has to be spinning for you to get the efficiency out of it. If the pulley doesn't spin, you're burning rope. At 3,000 pounds, it's not going to damage the rope. At 10,000 pounds, it's going to start to damage your rope. All right, so we're going to hook that up there. Yeah. Okay, I can use your help. Hold this. You hold that for me, okay? Yeah. So I was just down in West Virginia doing a trainer's training day. There was 20 people across the country that got invited to it. I was one of them. So we went down to do different training scenarios. And one of the things was, it was 10 of us trainers that were there, and it was all, let's see how fast everybody can do a single line pull, double line pull, triple line pull, or a change of direction. So we had those 3 scenarios, and we were all supposed to do it just at our normal pace, not rushing, and just what we would normally do. I was twice as fast as everybody there. And they were all like, why are you trying so hard with it? We weren't supposed to race. I'm like, I'm not. But it shows the difference when you do this often, you become more efficient. So what I look at here is, I don't want to pull out 60 feet of rope to go to there and back. It's only 15 feet away. I only need to pull out 20, 30 feet of rope. So I only pull out that much. What most people do is they'll sit here like this, and they'll pull, create a pile, and then they go out and back, but now they got to spool back in 20 feet. That preheats the motor, and when the motor gets hot, it's going to stop working, no matter what winch you have. But it also costs a lot of extra time. And when you're winching, the biggest downfall of winching is you're in your head. You're tired, you're pissed off, you're embarrassed, everybody's making fun of you. You want to hurry up and get out of that situation. So the calmer you can stay in that situation, the better. But if you're rushing, you're making mistakes. So you want to be able to sit there with a clear head and not do extra steps. And if it's a day where it's 95 degrees out, you're standing in the sun, the last thing you want to do is work extra hard while you're doing it. So make all your steps count. Like I pulled out enough here, I probably have maybe 6 feet of slack. That's not bad. Take that now. Thank you. So you can see I'm probably closer to 6 to 10 feet of slack. Normally I wouldn't even have that. I was talking while I was doing it, so I got a little distracted, but that's okay. Now, yes, my gloves are in my pocket. I do not have my gloves on. Okay. I'm not a big pusher of you have to have gloves all the time. I look at it as you're adults. If you want to wear them, it's up to you. Now, if it was steel cable, I'd make sure I have gloves on. This is brand new synthetic winch line. There is nothing in there that's going to cut my hand. So I'm not overly worried about it. But if I do nick my hand, it's my own dumb fault.
What about a grape?
We're going to talk about that. Okay, so now I put the hook on, but it flipped itself. A good habit to get into is have the hook facing up, because then if it pops off, it flies to the ground. Like right now, if it were to pop off, it's going to fly up. You want to make it that it drops. So while you're rigging everything up, like right now, just to power out, to flip this, now's a good time to do it. Okay, so now I put a little bit of a load on it. So you brought up a good question. Winch dampeners. Do we need this here? What is that? Okay. What they're designed to do is when you drape it over the winch line, if the winch line fails, it's supposed to make the winch line fall to the ground. That's what they're designed for. Do they work? Absolutely not. But because there was no other options for so long, years ago it was lay a tree branch on it, put a jacket on it, take a strap, wrap it around it. Then somebody came up, let's use this for advertising. And it's stuck because that's the only thing that was out there for 20 years. So everybody now says that is the thing you need. Like if you post a picture on the internet without that on the line, everybody's going to tell you don't know what you're doing. But in reality, if you do the testing, it takes 50 pounds to make steel cable fall to the ground. That little thing weighs 50 pounds? No. And there's plenty of videos on the internet now where they'll put tension on a winch line, they'll purposely break the winch line flies through, and it's like a cartoon. This hangs in the air for a second and then does this. The winch line just goes right through it. So it was better than nothing. If you don't have anything, sure. But a jacket, a strap, anything else will work just fine. What I like to do instead, I like to secure the load. So we took his old winch line off. So now, don't throw that away. Even if it has damage, cut the damage out, save the other pieces. What I do is I always make these short little pieces of winch lines. I use these for everything. So, if this were to break, what are we worried about? What's that?
Recoil.
Recoil of what?
The line.
Rope? Okay, if the rope hits you, it hits like a wet towel. That's it. What are you really worried about hitting? The hook, the metal. The rope itself is going to hit you like a wet towel. That's not going to kill you. It's going to hurt, but it's not going to kill you. And realistically, that's probably more force than the winch line is actually going to hit you with. So instead of using a damper, this, what I like to do is secure the metal from flying. Now, if we're worried about this hook breaking free, first off, let's do the math. Right now we have about, this is 10,000 pounds. So right now we have, I can tell you, if I put a scale on it and be accurate with it, we only have 5,000 pounds on this winch line right now. And it's split in half, so there's 25 on this, 2,500 on this. How's anything gonna fail? If it's hooked up correctly and it's in good working order, it can't. This is where you gotta trust your equipment and know the ratings of your equipment. If your equipment is in good working order, you're using it properly, and it is properly rated, it's not gonna fail on you. They're not gonna design the stuff for that. The way the winch companies make it, the hook is stronger than the rope is stronger than the winch. So the winch will stall before that fails, unless you have it hooked up incorrectly or you have a flaw in your equipment. So if you keep that theory, that thought process with it, you keep yourself safe to where nothing here is going to come apart. That hook is rated for more than the 18,000 I said this is rated for. That's probably a 22,000 pound hook minimum. Rope's rated for 18, which can only pull 10. Rope retention pulley has a working load limit of 20. They break it like 48,000 pounds. That soft shackle is one of the 39,000 pound ones. And right now it's seeing 5,000 pounds. As long as it's hooked up correctly, it's not going to fail. But say we're exceeding capacity of stuff. Instead of using a dampener to control anything from flying, what I like to do is secure the issue. So if we're worried about this hook, what I do is I take a rope, and you can tie a press hook, low hitch, 2.5 hitches, whatever you want to do. Secure it on here, tight and proper that it doesn't really move. Then secure this tightly to any other part of your vehicle. So now if this or this breaks, this can't go anywhere. I just created an emergency brake. Thing works here. Don't let that hook fly, and you don't have to worry about that hook building momentum. So keep it tight and get rid of all of your slack. Right now, if that shackle broke, that hook's just going to move an inch and fall to the ground. Same with that end. This isn't going to break, so you can put another piece through there and attach to your anchor or a tree that's right there as your brake to help secure that thing. That's better than a dampener that's not really going to do anything except advertise for whoever they have it on.
We're closest to the bathroom. Right where the northeast front.
Yeah, wait, all your tents are down. The girls and I took all the tents down.
Oh, okay.
Yes. All your tents are down. Okay, the girls and I got a taster. So, we're good.
We'll have your tent flying away.
The girls and I got it under control. Don't worry.
The girls got it.
The girls got it.
Anyone, you gotta check your tents quick. All right, it's about a week later after the Bronco invasion. Apologize for the abrupt ending to that video. Basically, what happened was while we were sitting in on the winching demo with Off-Road Consulting, as you saw, that woman in the pinkish shirt, the staff came to our team and said that, hey, basically, all of our canopies took off in that wind. There was such the storm coming in, and the winds really picked up to the point they actually had to end the Bronco invasion early on Saturday. And all of our canopies took flight, so we had to kind of all rush back to where we were parked, and thankfully there were some people still there, and some help came in to help collect all our canopies and break them down. That video at the end was pretty much one of our members playing the bagpipe as everyone's kind of scrambling to get stuff put away, and at that point, we were basically getting sandblasted. It was so windy. And at that point, we decided just to call it an early day. It wasn't worth it. It was just way too windy. The cars are getting pelted with sand. If you had your windows open, sand was getting in. I was getting pelted with sand. So we called it an early day. And thankfully, the rains held off until later that night. We had some really heavy rains and thunderstorms come through. But overall, again, great time. It was so much fun hanging out with Tri-State Broncos again at the Bronco Invasion, and hanging out for the after events down at Cape May Brewery and the Cape May Naval Museum. Excellent time. Highly recommend if you have a Bronco, or if you don't have a Bronco, come on out next year. It's free to spectators to come on to the beach and check out all the Broncos. And again, not that bad of a price if you want to actually park on the beach and participate. So highly recommend. With that, if you like the videos I'm putting out there, please like and subscribe below, and I'll catch you on the next adventure. Thank you.